Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, salutations. Hello, hello. It is I, RavenWood. I know it's been a while, so let me check all to see if all systems go. It seems okay. Everything seems to be excellent. That's okay. That's good. Interesting. My system's not cooperating. Ah, there it is. Okay. All right. Okay. So I've set that aside. Good. Yay. Everything's good. Now I have three things going on over here. Okay. I don't know how to fully set things to where my second monitor is also working, to where I can like now have like where like all the with the website and whatnot for YouTube, all the systems running right or on one side of the screen where y'all can't see it. Well, y'all can't see it regardless, but what I'm trying to say is where I also hold on one second. There's 1 second. Okay. I'm also what I'm trying to say is I have like some sort of reaction or something. I don't know how to do that just quite yet. I don't know how to like fix that per se. Get it up and running and whatnot. I do know how that technically works. It's just I may or may not have the proper equipment to do that. Anyways, but what I also have here is down here underneath the other computer monitor. So I have like the laptop over here, another computer, well, a computer monitor because I was originally setting this up for something else. And underneath here at the computer monitor, a little phone. My phone that tells me or shows also shows me like how's the stream doing, whatnot, how the connection's going. Like I have the little studio thing, the little what's it called? I'm blanking on the word. Tab. Sorry, I have a separate tab that shows me it's excellent. But however, what I've noticed in the past by kind of rewatching it, I don't rewatch my streams. I don't rewatch any of my videos. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, depending on like if I'm not 100% confident on the content that is being shown, right? Sorry. I took a breath there. Because of that, I also have my phone that's right down there. And so it shows me it actually shows me like how the live reception is. So that's with that being said, I keep forgetting to take down this big blue shelf that's right here, but it is what it is. I say take it down, but like I kind of don't want to take it down because it keeps a bunch of stuff there. So it's a struggling whatever. But at the same time, it looks pretty decent to keep it up there. I don't like the little sign, the little pop logo sign. Initially, I was going to have this painted. So that's another thing. I was initially going to have it painted to where you wouldn't see "Long live the fan," and then Thanos, and whoever else you could potentially see. Now, yes, I did intentionally keep it up there because I also like to have the stuff up there. So, there's also that. And Dominic wants to keep a blue shelf here. So, yay! It's still there. Now, the thing is that I'm not into pops. Yes, I did buy a few pops, but that's only because, like, oh, hey, they have my favorite characters as pops. So I was like, hey, I'll try collecting something. And it was actually kind of my first collection, kind of like dipping my toes into like collecting things. But like, it's starting to get tedious because like they're popular, pun intended. Uh, where I'm blanking on my own story, but like I got the shelf because like, oh, hey, the Halloween Spirit Halloween shop that I was working at the time was closed down because it's a seasonal thing. They put it up, they close it down, and so I was working there, and so I think I told this story again. I told the story before, but I'm going to tell it to y'all again. Anyways, I was working there, and I was like, "Can I take this home?" And I also brought two other white shelves with me because I also like they're convenient shelves. They look nice. They look decent. Maybe potentially I could take down the wooden shelves that aren't decent and whatnot. I know that it's not really a good reason because like these wooden shelves are functional, but they're also falling apart. I've taken notice that some of the support stuff, the not the support beams, but the I forgot what they're called, but the thing that where the board is supposed to rest upon, the board rest, I think, um, those arms, they're falling off for some reason, even though they're supposed to be hooked into the support beam. And so that makes I was like, there. I don't know how that happens. I don't know. Maybe when uh, when the person put them up there, my stepdad, ex stepdad now, but anyways, when he put them up there, maybe he didn't do it right. Maybe he just kind of just put them up there. Yeah, he drilled in the beams and the arm. He hooked the arms in, and he also cut the wood into perfect. Cut the wood into a perfect. Well, not perfect, but he cut the wood. He measured the wood, cut the wood, um, and whatnot. There. Okay, sorry. Sorry about that. It's not half-assed, but what's the term? It's just the way when he did it, when he built it all together. It's it could be either the wood itself, right? Oh, he also painted the wood. I think he painted those planks, those individual wooden shelves. Um, Regardless, there's like how do I say this? Yes, he everything correctly to where everything does is support. But when things start falling down or start falling, not when the arms, I guess, start falling off, I'm like, that's not. Why are they falling off? I don't know. So I have to put the arms elsewhere. But like, hey, the shelf is still up. So no matter how many arms fall off, at least it's still there. But I fear that one day that somehow, even though they're made out of metal, right, they're gonna fall. One of them is gonna fall. Like one arm, um, one of the shelf arms or whatever is gonna fall, or it's gonna pop out of place, and then first it's like it's flat, and then it just goes right, and then everything that's on it just goes chunk, right? It just goes, everything falls apart. Everything falls apart. Or maybe for some reason one of the beams pops off the wall, I guess, with age, or I don't know. Maybe the screws aren't that. Maybe the screws like get rusted somehow. I don't know. I'm making things up, but like for some reason they're falling apart. Everything's coming crashing down. Anyways, no, but for some reason everything is tumbling down. Or not tumbling down. Everything is coming apart there, and it is kind of half. I guess it is the best way to define this is that it is half-assed. Anyways, how are we doing here on the stream? Let's see. I hate how this works. I want a separate mouse. Let's put this. No, stop it. Let's put this right actually on. Let's put this right here. Okay, there we go. I don't need it. So anyways, that's fine. Okay, so we've been here for I've been ranting about the shelves for the last 10 minutes. Okay. What to talk about? Let's see. Okay, nothing much to talk about other than the Artificer. Before we start reading, I do want to talk about not the book. I want to talk about the next few live streams. Okay, so I'll have a miscellaneous stream or something. I may not do a stream. Now think about it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know. I may or may not have a stream where I build the mic that my mom gave to me, and it was like I think she said it was like a $200 mic. I only asked her because like I think it was like a Christmas gift like 2 years ago. Thank you, Mom. But if you're watching this, thank you, Mom. Anyways, I want to dedicate a stream to that, but I feel like there would be some sort of complication, some sort of complications surrounding it. So, like, I don't want to start building it together, because like you have to put the mic together, right? You have to like put it piece by piece, and I feel like that's not going to be good content. As much as I want to do that, it is special that I want to do it, and I like the idea that I want to do it. I want to put it on stream. I want to talk about things while I do it, but then I feel like I'll be too focused on putting it together. So that's the thing. I might do a stream after this particular stream, building the mic live. If I don't do that, then okay, fine. Yeah, that's fine. I'll still build the mic between now and whatever the next stream will be. So if you don't see a mic stream, me building the mic, right? Then that means that okay. Then, well, you'll see the mic eventually. Whether I'll hook it up to something or whatever, hopefully, yeah, I will. I don't know I want to say, yeah. I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know how that's gonna unfold. I'm gonna have to probably look on the instructions, and so if you don't, I'll probably have to look carefully at the instructions and whatnot. So what I'll probably do is I'll still I definitely have the stream, the mic on, the mic set up here where you can see. Yeah, I know there's no such thing as boring content. That all depends on the viewer, whatever. But I like putting things together. So that's another thing. That's another reason why I want to put together on stream, because oh, I like to put things together. I like to transform characters. I like on live, well not live, on camera. I like doing things on camera. So that's another thing. I was like, but I don't know. I don't know. What I might do is take it apart and then put it back together. Haha, there. Or maybe not. It depends. Anyways, but so what I know I keep looking back there about whatever. So um oh yeah, so expect that you'll see a new mic next live stream. So if the new mic is not going to be the next live stream, then the next live stream would be this book. Not Into the Pit, but the next story. I know, it's relevant. Into the Pit. Well, I was going to read the next story of Into the Pit, which is actually going to be called To Be Beautiful. So what I'll do is either next stream or at the end of this, near the end of this stream, right? Let's just say if I get done with this chapter pretty early and I feel like I want to continue reading something, I will start reading this. So yeah, I'll start reading To Be Beautiful. And then the next stream, what I'll do is I'll reread that page, the first page or whatever, the first couple pages or paragraphs or whatever, how much I read. Okay. So that it'll all be one thing. So you don't have to go two different streams to figure out the lore and whatnot. But however, that way, if you are here and if you watched it, you can still expect for me to read the next stream. So that's how that's going to work. Okay, so basically, I'll finish reading chapter 3. And the reason why I'm doing this is not just because of I want to be relevant. Oh, I do want to be relevant. But yes, but no. I want to read, yes, to be relevant. But the reason why I want to read To Be Beautiful is actually, you see, naturally I would potentially read Into the Pit when it's relevant, right? But I've already read Into the Pit. So do you see where this is going? So what I want to do is read the next story of the Into the Pit book, and then go for there. Because I do want to also cover maybe there might be a potential of To Be Beautiful to be the next pixelated Five Nights at Freddy's game, and I don't see how, me personally, I want to go into the detail on my thoughts on to whether or not it can or cannot be a pixelated FNAF game. I don't know what the game company is called again. I'll look it up eventually. But so now that we're 20 minutes into the stream, roughly into the stream, I'm going to do a quick bio break. I'll be right back. All right. I'm back. It may not appear that I'm back, but I am back. Okay, I'm here. Hello, everybody. Okay, I'm back. Okay, bio break over. Yay. Let's see. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so let me think. Where was I? Okay, yeah. Okay, I covered it. Okay, good. So basically, next stream, I want to cover. Not cover. I want to go into. Okay, yeah. We're now starting we're now picking back where we left off on the artificer. Trying to find my place. So give me a moment. I tell you what, let me read. I'm assuming I read on this page, so I'm going to reread this in page 80. But that's where I am at. All right. Now, exiting to the front desk of the building, he tried to peer through the windows to see who was outside, but was met only with the vaguest hints of a shadow. It's Shadow the Hedgehog! Anyway, sorry. Sliding open a wall panel next to the door, he rested his head on the repeater, fingers tapping at the receiver idly while his other hand went to the doorknob. Excuse me. Opening it, he was confused to find no one there, or at least so he thought, until he caught a different shade of white whipping around a svelte silhouette, a shade of white that was surprisingly familiar. Probably gonna have to Google that, aren't I? All right. Ryan? Kraft's eyes adjusted to the darkness as the light from the shop spilled outside. Ruby Rose. Oh, okay, sorry. not Ruby Rose. Sorry. Ruby eyes glinted in its warmth, beset by fear but tinged with hope. Hello, Mr. Kraft? The girl chittered, her entire body convulsing against the wind. May I come in? Kraft stepped aside, sliding his wall panel open as he did. Probably wouldn't need a shotgun. Probably. Ryan wasn't harmless, but even if she lied to him before, she'd never been violent with a clear. She'd never been violent when clearly could have been. He trusted her, at least enough to not take a stab at him. By all means, I'll get a fire going for you in the parlor. The woman said, excuse me. The woman stepped inside with her arms pulled to her torso beneath her woolly shawl. Her friend shuddered the moment it met the warm air of the shop. But my Vatia's Grace. I miss Mia's Grace. Okay, sorry. But my Vatia's Grace, you must be by my Vatia's Grace, you must be already quite a hearth. You must already have quite a hearth going. Why light another? No, that's a trick of the trade. The whole building is warmed evenly. I've seen to that. You, I think, need something a little more direct. Kraft hummed, leaving her boots and travel pack by the door. He guided her to the stairs that rose to his living quarters. Courtesy at the front. of his mind. He moved the plushiest chair he owned next to the fireplace and draped its matching blanket over her shoulders. Excuse me. I don't have a sore throat, I swear, but it's like, for some reason, it's like, just, I want to say scratchy, but it's like, not scratchy. It is scratchy, but it's not scratchy. I don't know the place that. Excuse me. Let me reread this. Courtesy at the front of his mind, he moved the plushiest chair he owned next to the fireplace and draped its matching blanket over her shoulders. Ah, it's a Pokemon chair. It's one of those Pokemon plush chairs. Or it could be that creature from My Neighbor Totoro, the black creature. I forgot its the name. I haven't watched the movie yet, but I've been told about it a lot, so I have like some. I'll watch it eventually. I feel like during this during the month of September, or yeah, probably during the month of sometime this week, sometime soon. I'll watch it soon. There. The fireplace was matching her shoulders. With a little extra effort, the fireplace was stacked with wood and lit. Kraft stood and praised the shivering woman. Your clothes are soaked. I can dry them for you if you like. I'm judging a sentence, by the way. It's not fragment sentence or anything like that. It's just it's a semicolon instead of a comma. And it's like, it's not a big deal. 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 But it's a big deal. Anyway, see, no. It's not a big deal. It's just I'm trying to see if there's like if that's an okay place to put a semicolon, or if it's not okay place to put a semicolon. Technically is I think he put the semicolon there to replace but. Your clothes are soaked, but I can dry them for you if you like. That is a way. I'm not certain if that's the high school way or if that's the college way. I'm trying to remember. Again, I wish I had taken. I had taken notes, but I wish I kept my notes, which is frustrating. But I remember specifically like the semicolon. The day when he had the semicolon, a lot of classmates really enjoyed learning about the semicolon placement. And it's probably how he taught the class and whatnot. We had fun, so yeah, that learning the literary composition or relearning it, I guess, college level, right? It actually can be fun, and I actually enjoyed the learning process of like the sentence structures and the different types of sentences and whatnot. On a college level, that is. So, yeah. I've been told that if I remember specifically that he did say like the way the professor was. I want to say he was hesitant, but he also had. By feel like that would be the. I feel like I feel like that would be the correct way to describe it. His position on replacing fanboys. With semicolon, he. I don't want to speak for him, but this is how I. This was my percept. This was how do I say? This is how I. Yeah, blanking on the term. My perspective. This was my perspective on his facial expressions. He seemed like he was annoyed by that, by saying yes again. But he was it was as if he didn't like the idea that you could do. Anyways, that doesn't matter. Again, semicolons aside. I don't know why I get hyper focused on semicolons. Again, I'm sorry, but moving on. Your clothes are soaked. I can dry them for you if you like. Ryan spared him a sidelong glance, her hands pushing the clothes tighter around her shoulders and squeezing some of the freezing water down her torso. I'm quite all right. If I am to pay for the night stay, I would do so with coin. Okay. This part is a no. You don't use comma or period. Sometimes just putting a period is okay. You don't have. I feel like people put semicolons just to be fancy. That's my perspective on the matter as to why he was hesitant to like teach us about semicolons. Anyways, he kind of was because I had asked about it and he seemed a bit annoyed, but he did wanted to. I felt like he did need to cover it because he did say that like, well, I was going to go cover this or something like that, or I was going to blah 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 from my next class or whatever, blah 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 blah. Okay. I was just checking the stream on my phone and it looked like it was in a loop for a minute there, but no, it's fine. Okay. See, this is how this is why I was like very cautious about this whole thing. Anyways. That's not. He rubbed at his brow, his teeth rattling as he looked for words. That wasn't. I could provide you with spare clothing. I could provide you with spare clothing to wear while it's drying, and I will give you all the privacy you need to change. You're going to catch a cold. I can cure a simple cold. I'm sure you can, but why waste the effort when you can avoid it in the first place? Ryan's face drifted towards the fire, her shoulders jarring very separately as the muscles in her neck moved, nibbling at her top lip. Shakes held. I'll accept your hospitality. I'm too cold to argue. Kraft smiled and went about gathering cloth from his workstation downstairs to make a modest nightgown for her though it left him feeling a touch drowsy. He'd been working on bigger projects all day, and he had been careful not to exhaust himself with his arm. But he had certainly come close to it before Ryan had arrived. Now the day's work was starting to actually wear on him. Giving her clothes and letting her change in the parlor, Kraft bruised himself setting up the clothesline in the workshop. When she was done, he collected her clothes, hung them to dry, raised the temperature of the room by 2 degrees, and prepped warm basil mead for the two of them. So, so to what I owe the pleasure of a visit from the Crafters Guild, he asked, passing her one of the drinks. Ryan sipped from the steamy wooden mug and seemed to bask in its honeyed scent for a time, peeling her eyes open slowly. Which, by the way, if you ever find yourself in the cold, I don't know why I'm speaking like this. If you ever find yourself in the cold or like in a freezer, a walk-in freezer, I was actually recently advised for you to continuously blink like that or something similar. Just continuously blink as much as you can while you're walking into a walk-in refrigerator or if you're in a cold environment. If you do so, I'm not certain about the science behind it, but from what my friend has informed me was that it prevents headaches and dizziness because apparently you could potentially go blind, whether permanently or temporarily or whatever. I don't know. Again, I don't know the whole entire science and story about that. I just know that you could potentially go blind if you don't blink. Blink and you die. Don't blink. Okay, anyway, no, sorry. Doctor Who reference. No, but this time you have to blink. So it's the opposite of that. So yeah, whenever you walk into a very, very intensely cold environment or a walk-in refrigerator like at a restaurant or something, right? If it's like walk-in refrigerator, and yes, do wear a coat. Don't try to be like, I'm strong. I got this. I've been in cold environments before. Put on a coat. It's a walk-in refrigerator. It's designed to be constantly cold. Right. Okay, so yeah. Do take care of your body by learning new things and taking advice from others, right? And learn more about your body. Doing yes, and here's another thing. Well, this was actually an advice that we had when we were in Virginia or when we went to Glattenburg, Tennessee during the winter. Or when I say we. I'm meaning a church group. But anyways, we were told like if you move, the more you move, the warmer your body gets. So I'm assuming it has to do with warmth in the eyes, especially in the area where where you for the eyelids. So if the more you move, the warmer your body gets because your heart is like pumping. Okay, it's making me dizzy thinking about it. But it's interesting to talk about it. For some reason, hearing about it makes my. It's been sometimes talking about makes makes me dizzy. So what am I talking about? I'll be right back. I need to get more water for my. Anyway, so the next time, Bob. Oh, for some reason I had water in here and I didn't bother to use it. Now I have copious amounts of water. I shouldn't have a single problem during this stream with water. I think it's because of the water in your blood and whatnot. Okay. Now I'm thinking about it. Shutting up. Anyways, I had brought this up because you can potentially go blind. Yeah. So if you get dizzy while you get again, blink prevents it. I don't know how, but or how your eyes are connected to like dizziness. I don't know per se, but yeah, blink. And if you're ever watching a movie where like people are like suffering in the cold and they're not blinking their eyes, probably because either A, the writer does not know that, the writer for the movie does not know that, or B, they do know that, but the thing is they're actors and they have a face because it's marketable. And so they're constantly blinking their eyes while it's in the middle of blistering cold, right? It wouldn't look right for a movie. It wouldn't look, well, I mean, I say it wouldn't look right for a movie, but it wouldn't look, how do I say this? It would be distracting, I guess. A little bit distracting if like they're all just continuously blinking and focusing on blinking or whatever. But yeah, or yeah, something along those lines or whatever. Anyways. Listen to me. What got me into talking about this? Am I on the right page? Raised the room temperature by 2 degrees and prepped warm basil mead for the two of them. So to what do I owe the pleasure of a visit from the Crafters Guild? He asked, passing her one of the drinks. Ryan sipped from the steamy wooden mug and seemed to bask in its honeyed scent for a time. Peeling her eyes open slowly, she stared into the fire. The guild has nothing to do with this business. Or me for that matter. They decided that they no longer needed my services after I failed to work out the conflict with you. Kraft choked on his drink, swallowing it down past the scratch in his throat. You got fired over that? She nodded. Her ring finger lazily circling the mug's lip. When I got back, they were furious with me. But after I talked about what happened in town and how you figured out the ploy, you unnerved them. The guild stands as the center of commerce for craftsmen, going on several centuries, and I'm assuming this is a typo because you don't put a comma after and. You just don't. You put a comma before and. Definitely not before a, but like before you get. I mean, I don't see why you would ever put a comma after and or after the D of the and. But regardless, the letter D. Anyways, I don't know. I'm hoping focusing on every single detail as well. Um, on several centuries, and in that time, yeah, you don't put a comma there at all. I understand the lie that high school said you put a comma after each breath, but it's actually but you put a comma after each initial breath or thought, I guess, sort of. It's kind of complicated. So yeah, no, you don't put a comma there at all. Just smile. Just smile. Just smile. Move on. And in that time, few have stood up to them so quickly and adamantly. They are they are unsure what to make of you. And now you can put non. See, there's no rule about like putting. It's not proper. People will like look at it and like, mm. But you can put a period before but, or when sentence you can start a sentence with but and yet so. However, it's just not as proper. It's just like it's just not. Yeah. You get a little frown. You just like a little frowny face, like, why did you do that? Why? But anyways, that's neither here or there. I don't care about those. But in the meantime, they knew. But in the meantime, yeah, okay, okay. That's okay. You do put a comma after meantime because that's how you check it. Yeah, they knew what to do with an employee that failed them. This is actually, yeah, okay. I want to be 100% certain. This is actually where you do put a semicolon, by the looks of it. Actually, this is actually, well, it feels optional to put a semicolon or a colon here. You could put a colon here. I'm just saying. They knew what to do with an employee that failed them. Give her little to no work and run out her contract. Ryan sipped at the mead and gave a satisfied hum. Scraps have served as my living wage for the last 7 weeks, and 2 weeks back my landlord had me evicted. His fingers trembled. I'm sorry. I didn't think that happened. Ryan shook her head. As relieving as it would be to blame you, I decided to accept your. Oh. Okay, I'm misreading it. Give me a second. I've decided that I'm misreading how it's written. I decided to accept your proposal over my own simply because I admired your willingness to protect your town. This is a grave where I hold the largest shovel. She dipped her head to the cup, eyes drifting close. Okay, that's a good comma placement. I like that. I don't know why I care about commas and punctuation. Damn it. Kraft watched carefully as her hair draped over her shoulders. The strands of white were much longer than you common folk and your commas and your misplaced semicolons. How dare you? The strands of white were much longer than he remembered, and her knuckles were dusted with bruises and nicks running up to the wrist. Aged. That's what she was. And it had only been a couple of months. Downing another swig, the light buzz crept into his head. It's not only excuse me. It's not one you should have had to dig in the first place. Aren't guilds supposed to protect their employees? Only so long as they have a use, she muttered dryly. I'm sorry, only so long as they have a use, she muttered dryly. I, bleh. I tried to move out to Camolo, Camo, Camola, Camolora, Camolora. I tried to move to Camolo. I want to say low instead of la. Camolara. Okay. I tried to move out to Camolara. Say it multiple times until you get it right. Not you, writer, whoever. If the writer is watching this, aka Raymond Neal, I'm telling myself this. So I tried to move out to Camolara. Ding! Yes, Camolara! And get work there. But the guild must have mentioned me along the way. Ah! Semicolon. Okay, this is the right use. Or at least this, yeah. This is a right use. Along the way, wagering my name is tainted goods just about everywhere in the principality. At this rate would be a safe bet. And if it isn't yet, I think you're supposed to put a comment there. Because that is what I think. And if it isn't yet, it'll soon. Okay, maybe not. I don't know. Stop thinking about punctuation, please. Now, you're not a you're not in a position to critique. It probably is correct. Anyway, and if it isn't yet, it'll certain be by the time I get there. Oh God, why am I only just now hearing about this? They haven't sent anyone else to talk to me. A humorous smirk was passed his way. They think your early success is a fluke, lucky with bank contract, and when your novice inevitably causes the delivery to fail, you should come crawling to the negotiation table. So they will let you be uncontracted. They'll let you be until They'll let you be until contradicted. They'll let you be until contradicted. She looked around the lavish room. I assume it will not stay that way much longer. And here I was thinking my letter set them straight from the word go. Wishful thinking, I guess. The two sat in the comfortable silence for the next few minutes, quietly sipping at their drinks as the fire cracked along. Then Kraft spoke again. I take it you don't have anywhere to go. This was the only place I could think of, Ryan admitted, shrinking into herself. My purse is lighter each day, and the guild's influence is everywhere, except for the one person who defied them. And you were so generous with how you handled my deception. You took a gamble, Kraft observed, nodding his head along. She nodded her head back. A risk, yes, but I like to hope. Excuse me. A risk, yes, but I like to hope for the best in people. Same. Skimming. How? Skimming a hand through his hair, he chuckled. Well, no pressure, right? Ryan perked before curling in tight, a dusty red, a dusting of red on her cheeks. That is not how I meant to say it. It is rude to presume your hospitality, but I hoped. Kraft tossed a smile. Kraft tossed a smile her way. A hint of jest along its curve. You realize you did try to undermine me. I have every right to turn you away. She pulled the blanket tighter around her shoulders. But you have yet to. No, I haven't yet. Have I? Kraft nodded. The room went quiet. The room went quiet. Give me a moment. Boop. There we go. The room went quiet once more, and the two sat there, staring off into the fire. Something was still strange about Rami. She must have had other options. Family, friends, a profession that couldn't be waylaid by the Crafters Guild. What was her? Yeah, there's another semicolon. But you have this book riddled with semicolons. Stop! It's an addiction now. That's the best way to describe this book. It just feels like it's riddled with semicolons for no apparent reason. I say riddled, but like it's a little repetitive. I know it's not a problem, and it's not. It's not a problem to have semicolons here and there, right? But I feel like you're abusing this one punctuation. I say, I need to stop. I need to stop. I need to stop before I mentally hurt myself. And physically hurt myself too. I'm banging my head against a wall or table or something. I don't know. Where is it? Waylaid by the Crafters Guild. Was that what was her life like beyond the guild, and why would she come to him? But it couldn't just turn her away either. She'd clearly been through the ringer, and it gnawed at him to just kick her out with no place to go. Kraft let his smile drop, his voice dipping to the soft and serious. Okay, you can stay the night. I already planned on that. In the morning, we'll discuss what to do with you in the long run. I'm going to lock up the shop for the night. If I wake up and find you've stolen anything, we're going to have problems. Am I clear? Ryan's face stilled, but she nodded, seemingly quick to understand his weightier words. She coughed into a bald fist. Okay. Cough like this? I'm assuming. Most people just say cough into her there, and I guess it just doesn't matter. Anyway, I guess it's one of those details to make the scene more cozy, I guess. I don't know. Medicare personality. I don't know. I mean, like most people call them open hand. I guess. I don't know why I'm focused on this. It's like a little anime thing where they coughed into the fist like this. When you're actually supposed to cough into your elbow, it doesn't matter. So now she has to wash her hands. Now I have to wash my hands. Ah, germs, am I right? Balled fist and lifted her mug. Can I have some more mead, please? More mead, please. Kraft smiled. Sure. And we're at a break. And it's actually a good place to pause, not differently. It's a good place to pause, and now I'm going to wash my hands. I know, I playfully coughed into my own hand and whatnot. But yeah, I'll be right back. Momentarily. All right, I'm back. Okay. Stretch. Okay. Sometimes we gotta do a little stretch, a little quick little stretch. Okay. Almost done here. 7:41. The next morning, after a long night of contemplation, Kraft offered Ryan two options: get a job, work up enough coin to buy her own place and move there, or she could live under his roof free of charge if she served as the shop's dedicated caster for magical goods. This offer, of course, surprised the woman. Ah, interesting. I fail to understand. Why do you have a colon there? My professor didn't linger on colons. But I don't understand. Would you put a colon there? Let me look at the keyboard. Oh, probably be it would probably it was probably a typo. Even though you had to hit shift, I'm guessing it's probably because of a typo. But anyways, moving on. Yeah, because I say think. That is actually where you would put a semicolon, not a colon. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I say think. Because believe it or not, you can actually have a short sentence, but then have the longer sentence after the semicolon. I fail to understand. It is very clear you have magical talent. Why would you need a caster to assist you? She asked, setting down her fork among the fluff of her eggs. Kraft set down his mug of coffee and grimaced as the bitter liquid washed down his throat. My gift is amazing at constructing mundane goods, but magical items require a source of magic to craft. My power can technically do that, but the scale is pitiful. All I've managed to make with it alone are these lousy translation pins. He pointed to the wooden circle snapped to his shirt label. They're nice, but not uncommon coming. They're nice, but not uncommon coming from other craftsmen. They sell for pittance, even even if mine are of higher quality. If I want to be viable as a magic crafter, I need to go bigger. And my gift can't offset the magic cost for creating those items. Ryan picked her fork. Ryan picked her fork back up and picked at the eggs, the tines dicing through the yellow mounds. I'm not quite sure what I could bring to it. I was among the Monday craftsmen myself. Enhancement was actually excuse me. Enhancement, yeah, this is actually where you put a semicolon. Enhancement was left to more senior members of the guild. Not a problem, he dismissed, waving away the notion with his idle hand. My power simply needs you to provide the raw magic. I can handle everything else. Resting down his mug, Kraft stood and offered Ryan his hand. What you say? Room, board, and let's say 2 Yavo a week for spending money. If you don't like how things are going after the first week, I'll start helping you find a new job and a place to live in town. Deal? Eyes locked on his fingertips, the lids drooping and sad. You demonstrate an awful level of kindness to do all that for me. It's an investment. You may have slighted me before, but you helped me save the town. So you can't be all bad. So you can't be all bad there. I'm offering the best I can. If that's what you're looking for, I'm not going to judge this semicolon because this one I'm not certain about, but I also don't care at this point. I'm offering it. Okay, now I care because I mentioned it. Damn it. Oh, let me see. Okay, fine. Let me take a look. Closer look. I'm offering the best I can. Not sure what you're looking for. Best you take it now. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. I don't care anymore. It's bothering me, isn't it? Right. Okay. Yeah, actually, no. Yeah, probably. That's okay. But the thing is, again, it's just semicolon after semicolon. Why? Why? Why do you have semicolons? Half the time you don't need them. Half the time you do need them. But during the times you do need them, you. I'm not mad. I'm just. It's like repeating words. You don't want to repeat said, but the thing is though, you repeat the word hummed. Again, writers don't like to repeat words. They don't like to repeat. He said, she said, they speaketh, right? He then said, he then added, right? You want diversity. But here's the thing, is like every chance you have, you add the word hummed. And then every other chance you have, you add a semicolon. It's like you literally are trying to make. It's a double-edged sword. You either repeat. You don't want you don't want to you don't want audiences to be annoyed at repetitive words, but the thing is, at the same time, we're not reoccurring words. But at the same time, I want to be careful when I say this. People don't care. But because you're avoiding the word said, you're repeating the word hummed. And that's what I've noticed. It's annoying. It's actually annoying me for some reason. It typically doesn't annoy me. I don't care. But like, see, I get onto this book or this writer's tendencies, because they're bad at certain things, but you're bad at other things. But you're good. You're good. Both are decent writers in the decent modern world, right? And actually, I think this is actually better storytelling than this, in my opinion. This is a better story than this. I will say that. It's just for some reason, this is actually annoying me. Every time you have the character at any given moment saying hummed. Oh, he hummed. He hummed. Hey, she hummed. When can they allow? When can they just say things? When can they just be normal? They don't have to hum. I'm probably being a jackass. And I'm not sorry, okay? Okay, anyways, I'm being a jackass, and I kind of am sorry, but like, come on! I'm in the electric chair of the word hummed. My head's not itching. Dang damn it! See, now my head itches. My hair, the edges. Give me one moment. I need to step away. Okay, sorry. There, are we good? Okay. Sorry, it took me a minute. I needed a minute. It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. I don't actually care. Sort of quippy, whatever. But it's just not quippy. I just I'm just bear with me. I'll bear with you. But we're good. We're good. Okay, good. Where is it? Let's survey. Not survey. Let's go back over here. It's an investment. You may have slighted me before, but you helped me save the town, so you can't be all bad there. I'm offering you the best I can. If that's what you're looking for, best you take it now. Ryan shifted her gaze to his, those red suns burning into the back of his head. This offer wasn't entirely benevolent. There was more to Ryan, and he wasn't just going to let that slip through his fingers. Keeping her within arm's reach was the quickest way he could figure out exactly what was going on in her head and exactly why small, quiet alarms kept going off in the back of his own. The woman stood and took his wrist, and he returned the gesture in kind, the two shaking on it firmly. She smiled, the corners never quite curving all the way as they should. She smiled, the corners never quite curving all the way as they should. I look forward to working with you, Mr. Kraft. Kraft decided to let her rest and recuperate for the rest of the day, warming her bones and pursuing his healthy collection of books. The next day, he finally began to put her to work, testing out the limitations of what he could do with her help. Scrolls, wands, salves, classical magical staples that had eluded his creation were now well within reach, and Ryan's casting made it laughably easy. It was apparent after 3 days she'd be staying long beyond the week trial period he stamped out for her. He stamped out for her. Working with her, however, was a little more adventurous. She found many of his inventions endlessly fascinating, constantly poring over their designs and craftsmanship, most of which being the reactor in the middle of the floor. He'd given her a brief rundown on what did and made it clear how temperamental it was. Well, he could be. Well, could be, but better to think the thing was apt to explode if she touched it to keep her away. So she wasn't completely out of the loop. Keeping step, her personality melted just a sliver as well, her formality slipping bit by bit from her shoulders. Between crafting, she would talk about her old life in Madra and friends and family that she wanted to see again once she had enough coin worked up to travel. Kraft echoed her desire, talking about his trip to Basel and how odd he'd been by their architecture and cuisine. Sadly, he hadn't arrived at his life of travel quite yet, as most of the assets were tied up in his shop but he was still saving every tense he could towards that end. Excuse me, not wine, Rhine. Rhine was surprisingly playful as her walls came down, teasing Kraft over his pronunciation of names, places, and even items he was making himself. According to her, he had a noticeable affection to his voice that no one decided to tell him about, probably out of courtesy. It galled him to think he pronounced anyone's name wrong, or the name of their home, and many an evening after that were spent pursuing almanacs and atlases together to learn proper direction. Apparently, he had a 10-year because despite this, she continued to lord it over him every chance she could. All at once, excuse me, all at once annoying, but endearing. Before he knew it, the weeks peeled by and Nierf's wedding to Safiri had come and gone. Rhine served as his plus one to the traditional dwarven ceremony, as she'd become fast friends with the stocky farmer over his stories as a traveling merchant. Tails Craft was keen to listen in on himself. The crafters actually provided the ceremonial pickaxe and hammer the couple pickaxe and hammer the couple would use, providing enhancements on them that would make them lighter and more effective. The ceremony itself consisted of the groom chipping stone away with the pickaxe to retrieve a malleable metal box that had been placed within. The box was then placed on an anvil where the bride would hammer it down until the box broke and the rings inside would be revealed. Oh, that's cool. 5 pairs of rings. 5 rings. Oh, what feels like a reference to 5 for the ring? No. No, okay. 5 of the rings were placed inside the box, and only the ones that survived being hammered would be worn by the couple afterward to represent the strength of the bond. Nerf and Safiri came out of the wedding with 5 rings intact, which was actually quite high by all accounts. It was unusual for the couple to have only 2 or 3 left. And in the unfortunate circumstances where one or none of the rings survived, the marriage would have been declared unsanctionable, and thus would have been annulled on the spot. Dang! Okay, that's some tradition. So they're super married if all 5 rings. I'm now Lord of the Rings. You could just always just try again. Just have another box prepared. But what if the box couldn't be smashed open? Would it be nullified there and there as well? We can't smash it open. What are we supposed to do? Oh, I don't know. Anyways. Many festivities were held that bled into the town. mostly thanks to Kraft's attendance. His hero status had some perks, he supposed, especially when the wine and beer casks kept flowing well into the night. By the end of things, he, Reinterth, and Doris found themselves spread on the grass in front of the shop, poking at the stars with drunken fingers and good-natured laughs. The hangover the next day was worth it. Work continued steadily after that, with the shop now open to magical goods on the cheap. Work began to flow in, and for several weeks things were good. And then a week went by with no traveling customers. Kraft put a brow and serviced the town as normal. And then 2 went by, and he started to take notice. And then 3 went by. Then 3 went by, and his suspicions rose further. These suspicions were confirmed after a month of struggling business when a navy-toned sombrant man came to the shop, sporting a dress reminiscent of the Hussar military. The man carried himself sporting a dress reminiscent of the Hussar military. The man carried himself with a confidence and arrogance that Kraft hadn't seen since he had been alive on Earth. 5 seconds into seeing the man, he already felt a headache beginning to form. The man's mouth opened in venom comes a venom. Okay, sorry. The man's mouth opened and venom dripped out in the shape of words. I take it you're the eponymous. I don't know how to pronounce that. So, eponymous. I take it you're the eponymous Kraft. Yes. Snake. The man was a snake. Okay. Hey, more diversity in this book. That's fine. Okay. Anyways, Kraft set down his book and leaned further into the chair. The man had a hostile aura, menacing. And one of the first rules of business was to never let your hackles rise. Welcome to Crafts and Wares. Can I help you? I am RavenWood Reads, and I'm here on the behalf of the Crafters Guild in Madro. The snake is giving a polite bow. I see, Kraft hummed. That's what I'm going to do every time I see the word hummed. What are you, a hummingbird or a phoenix? Hi, Marsh. Welcome to my establishment. I see. Kraft hummed. Welcome to my establishment. Semicolon. Would you like to order something? I do all sorts of repairs and makes. A bead of sarcasm trickled from his mouth. I couldn't imagine you'd be here for much else. But I am Mr. Kraft. Alex reached into the satchel at his side. Its gold broidery flickering as he filled it with the latch. And said, I know for the, or at least I'm guessing. My best guess is that the author did not intend for me to actually pretend that he's a snake, but I'm actually going to pretend that he's actually a snake. It's now canon, okay? I'm not saying that like he's a, because like we don't know who this guy is, right? Me personally, I'll give a person a benefit of a doubt. Anyways, I'll give this person a benefit of the doubt. But for some reason, I actually now visualize him as an actual like humanoid snake. Yes, I'm a snake. So for now on, for the rest of this series, for the rest of this reading, whenever Osh comes in here, Snake Man. He's silly. He's like that snake guy from Ninjago, or one of the snake people from Ninjago. But I am Mr. Craft. Alex reached into the satchel side, its golden embroidery flickering as he fiddled with the latch. A second later, he produced a stack of documents, all pristinely kept, not with a wrinkle in sight. You made your distaste for the guild palpable in your letter to us. I have come here to hopefully see if your opinion has changed. Kraft leaned to his counter, elbows on the wood, chin on his knuckles. And what exactly would have changed my mind? Art's friend, avenged innocence well enough. It was probably why he was sent to speak in the first place. A more serious negotiator for a more obstinate craftsman. But for someone who'd been paying attention to his economics the last few weeks, the snake's words rang hollow. Well, now I'm going to speak like a snake. I'm going to the personality that is ingrained in most media. Well, you see, due to the price of fluctuation and disputes, why, the guild has been moving more and more of its trade routes along the southern cliffs, which we were worried would pull away business from northern towns like Tombalota. Surely you've noticed a shift. Oh my gosh, how long is this chapter? Oh, okay. I'd be a fool to not to. Kraft stood, cracking one of his knuckles as an afterthought. And I'd be even more of a fool to not know the real reason my out-of-town business had been dropping off. With a guild so prestigious, I'd have thought throttling the competition was beneath you. The Sombran's lips twitched but did not sway. I can see you're keen at getting to the point. I respect that, Mr. Kraft. He rested a hand on the stack of papers. By our estimates, you've lost almost 50 chalice in revenue over the last 4 weeks. Not an easy sum to ignore. I think you will find that sales will improve if you use the current standard prices for goods as set by the guild. It has done us well over the years. Now, it should be aware that violating the set pricing guidelines of the guild typically incurs a fee of 2 sinum per violation, of which all of your known infractions are to be accounted for, would total over 100 chalice. Even more damnable sum than the expenses you've already started to incur. Or drink some water. Man, this guy sounds like a bad politician. Someone who's bad at economics. Wants to control the prices. Talk about a price snake. However, if you could enter, continues. However, if you should enter the guild, excuse me, sorry. However, if you should enter the guild, a lenience could be given for ignorance of the law. You would only be required to pay the 12 chalice application fee, and after a short waiting period of 2 to 6 weeks, your business will be ready to return to normal operating procedures, provided that you follow the guide's pricing guidelines. Kraft absorbed the information spewing out of Art's mouth, quietly nodding along. At the end of the drivel, he placed his palms on the wooden counter and leaned toward the man. I'll not only match what the guild sets. Oh, sorry. Now that I'm so used to doing that. Sorry. Now, I'll not only watch what the guild sets. I'll undersell you at every turn. I will not be threatened or extorted. Am I clear? Smile finally dropping, the snake's voice lost its more optimistic edge, and his fingers rapidly twitched along the ledger pages. Mastercraft. Mr. Craft. I do not believe you understand the full gravitas of the situation you are in. He did. It was true. If the guild could control the traffic of goods and trades around the country so finely as to starve a single shop in a small town in the middle of nowhere, they were more powerful than he had considered. For the first time, Kraft entertained the possibility that joining the guild may be the safest